Hello. I brought another victim.
Hi.
Like lamb to the slaughter. I mean, hi, you're gonna enjoy yourself greatly.
Good.
I did a good job cropping this apparently. You know what? You go ahead and introduce yourself while I fix up my mess, because apparently I can't be trusted. Why is this? What did I do? Nope.
Brightness. I am
I am
brightness.
Uncultivated, and I only speedrun Left 4 Dead 2.
Can I cultivate you?
No.
Oh, that's fucking gay.
No, you?
I'm very stubborn.
Damn it, how do I... Oh no, my Discord is having a seizure again.
Wonderful, just how we like it.
I'm just trying to fix my mistakes.
Oh, I think we're way beyond that.
Okay, you are right. I'm trying to fix some of my mistakes. How's that?
That's okay.
No, some. Not all.
About a couple.
There we go.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I also added the
Lee?
I've added I've in the in our Bible management. Anyway, yeah, and our Bible sheet now also has the changed words as well.
Yeah, I saw it. Have you provided our guest with additional insight?
He hasn't requested it.
Okay, that's a fair point. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm
do my
coming in
job.
blind.
Okay,
Please open your eyes. That's how reading works.
So are we
No.
all on the same page about this one?
No, because I forgot a crucial component of hold on.
More alcohol?
Hold.
You didn't specify what I'm supposed to hold. Come back.
Headphone cam.
Pay very close attention to his wallpaper when he takes the headphones away. Is there dirt? No, Terrace, it's time to paint your wall again.
I have returned.
Yeah, but
no, I've stuck a bunch of shit to it, and I'm too lazy.
To the right, there's a dark spot, so you need to.
Yeah. Well, I could also print a meme, and I could also print something and cover it up.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know a good meme to print.
I know a better meme to print. Hold on, let me turn my print. Let me. Oh, I can't turn. I need to, okay, I'll do it later. My printer's not even plugged in.
I mean, the meme I'm thinking of costs about 1 cent.
Well, the meme I'm thinking is just your face.
That's also a pretty good one. And maybe
I'm gonna mix beer with Red Bull and drink that.
Oh shit.
I find it very fitting that you're drinking beer, since our protagonist last time decided to go to beer. Print the meme.
Bro, this is fucking
chat.
good.
The subreddit is wrong, but it was it /r/Christianity, or which one did you get banned from? I don't think it was Catholicism, was it?
No, I think it was Christianity.
Yeah. Which one did get you banned? Crunk? I don't play Krunker. How dare you? Anyways.
I think it was I'll give you my $2 to fuck off.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that was the one that broke the camel's back.
That meme had a lot going for it.
Speaking of a lot.
You know what? I'm gonna give this a second try. In Discord, do this.
I baked bread this morning.
Holy shit.
It's fresh. Like
your looks.
Well, I mean, like 5 hours fresh. Yeah, I did a cut.
Is the camera working on Discord for you?
No.
Okay,
no,
awesome.
it isn't.
Yeah, and then I think I need to update my OBS so I can have a single source virtual
hold
camera.
Hold.
What am I holding? Wait, what am I holding?
Just hold on to your left thigh.
My left. Wait. A little awkward, but I'm holding.
I'll hold my right thigh in solidarity.
I got a question, Skytis.
Can I let go?
Yeah, you can let go.
Okay.
Is handling sharp objects in a careless fashion against Twitch's TOS?
If you injure yourself, it is, but
I'll be at least a little bit careful then.
I mean, this is literally just cutting bread. Like, this is like a food stream now. I mean, well, but what am I saying now? Yeah, it's always been a food stream. That's the reason. That's the reason we got our tags.
Bible study / mukbang.
It's.
please tag this under my bag.
Isn't it mukbang? But hey,
I think so.
what was that? That was the Korean social eating stream thingy, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
but it's so grotesque now. It's bizarre.
I don't follow it at all. I just heard that it was a thing, and then I was confused, and then I realized, well, different culture.
Well,
and then I decided to read the Bible.
In my defense, I've been actually actively losing weight.
Well,
in the past month or so, I went down from 110 to 105.
Wait,
nice.
Is that kilograms or pounds?
Kilograms.
So you lost 5 kilograms of brain cell?
I don't think I had that many to begin with.
Okay, I think we're ready now. Judges 17. In that time, there was a certain man from Mount Ephraim named Micah. And he said to his mother, the 1,100 silver coins which you had separated for yourself and about which you had sworn in my hearing, for fuck's sake, behold, I have them, and they are with me.
Isn't that a drinking game, though?
Well, what would you know about drinking, sir?
Well, actually, I think I'm a bit of a self-taught expert.
If Terrence was 105 pounds, he'd be a fucking anomaly. Well, do I need to say it?
Yeah, I think you should.
He already is an anomaly.
Maybe
find me one other person that is willing to endure, what are we at? 50 hours or so of Bible? More, probably? With this person suffering through their puns and also making thumbnails for the Bible readings. If that doesn't scream anomaly, you're just deaf.
I
also have bread.
Ah, nice reference. Did the bread invade you? Did it roll down the hill and invade your home?
Yes.
Is it biblically accurate?
No, but I can skip the Easter next time.
And she answered him, my son has been blessed by the Lord. Therefore, he restored them to his mother. What is this random story about? What the fuck? And she said to him, I have consecrated and vowed this silver to the Lord, so that my son would receive it from my hand, and would make a molten idol and a graven image. And now I deliver it to you. And when he restored these to his mother, she took 200 of the silver coins, and she gave them to the silversmith, so that he might make from them a molten idol, and a graven image. And it was in the house of Micah.
Wow.
Cat peasant, but all my thumbnails are terrorists. Huh? Is Cat peasant trying to imply that he would suffer through this willingly? Because listening to the stream,
then he's wrong.
Listening to the stream is one thing, but being here reliably on stream is a very different thing. Just want to point that out. And he also separated in it a little shrine for the Skytis. And he made an effort, and Teraphim, whatever the fuck that is a priestly garment and idols. And he filled the hand of one of his sons, and he became his priest. Wait. So if you fill the hand of your son, you become their priest?
It's the rules.
I'm sure, why not? In those days, there was no king in Israel. Instead, each one did what seemed right to himself. Also, there was another young man from Bethlehem of Judah, one of his relatives, and he himself was a Levite, and he was living there. Then, departing from the city of Bethlehem, he wished to sojourn wherever he would find it beneficial to himself. And when he had arrived at Mount Ephraim, while making the journey, he also turned aside for a little while to the house of Micah. And when he was asked by him where he came from, he responded, "I am a Levite from Bethlehem of Judah, and I am traveling so that I may live where I am able.
Able.
And if I perceive it to be useful to me." And Micah said, "Stay with me, and you shall be to me like a parent and a priest." Wait, so he'll just get abused?
Same.
"And I will give to you each year 10 silver coins and a double-layered garment and whatever provisions are necessary." He agreed, and he stayed with the man. And he was to him like one of his sons. Is this the... Yeah, you just wrecked yourself.
Wrecked.
Wow.
Is this the Bible version of the ice cream truck? Stay with me, and I'll give you money and food and clothing, and I'll be like a father to you. Just jump on this horse, and I will take you to this dark alleyway. And Micah filled his hand, and he had the young man with him as his priest, saying, "Now I know that Skytis will be good to me, since I have a priest from the stock of the Levites." What a fucking bizarre chapter. This is like the prequel, like the background story to somebody who becomes very important later on, but this is just filler. They just decide, you know what, he needs some backstory to be a believable character.
Feels like I'm watching Naruto again.
Well, I wouldn't be able to comment on that, because I've not seen much of that.
About half of it is filler.
But I hardly know
You're
it.
welcome.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I didn't see that one coming. I should honestly be used to it at this point.
Judges 18. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Oh, really? Where have I heard that before?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
And the tribe of Dan sought a possession for themselves so that they might live in it. For even to that day, they had not received their lot among the other tribes. Therefore, the sons of Dan sent 5 very strong men of their stock and family from Zorah and Eshtaol so that they might explore the land and diligently inspect it. And they said to them, "Go and consider the land." And after traveling, they arrived at Mount Ephraim, and they entered into the house of Micah. There they rested. And they recognized the speech of the youth who was a Levite. And while making use of an inn with him, they said to him, "Who brought you here? What are you doing here? For what reason did you want to come here?" And he answered them, "Micah has offered me one thing and another. Ooh. And he has paid me wages so that I may be his priest." Then they begged him to consult the Lord so that they might be able to know whether the journey they undertook would be prosperous and whether the matter would have success. And he responded to them, "Go in peace. The Lord looks with favor on your path and on the journey that you have undertaken." And so the 5 men going on arrived at Laish. And they saw the people living in it without any fear, according to the custom of the Sidonians, secure and peaceful, having hardly anyone to oppose them, and with great wealth, and living separately, far from Sidon and from all men. Wait, so it's just women there?
Nice, sign me up.
Yo.
Well, Terrace, you can go there, but first you need to undergo some surgery.
Well, I wouldn't call that a quick snip of a scissors surgery.
A vasectomy will do the job. And nobody will get that joke in. That's perfect. Just as I intended. And they returned to their brothers, Zora and Eshtaol, who questioned them as to what they had done. And they responded, "Rise up, let us ascend to them, for we have seen that the land is very wealthy and fruitful. Do not delay, do not refrain. Let us go out and possess it. There will be no difficulty. We shall enter to those who dwell securely in a very wide region. And the Lord will deliver the place to us, a place in which there is no lack of anything that grows upon the earth."
Is this the promised land again, but just like
I'm
a Walmart version of it?
Yeah, basically, because this is like the tribe of Dan, and it said that they didn't get the share of the Lord, which obviously, as it was previously mentioned, everything that was promised has been delivered, except for the thing that hasn't been delivered, which was then delivered, and now we have another thing that has already been delivered, but that technically hasn't been delivered, that's being delivered now. What's so complicated about that?
Sounds like a drink to me.
It's just...
I'm putting Funyuns on my bread.
I'm putting the fun in the Bible.
You're really not.
You're so welcome. And so, those of the kindred of Dan set out, that is 600 men from Zora and Eshtaol, girded with the weapons of warfare. And going up, they stayed at Kiriath Jearim of Judah. And so the place from that time received the name... Received the name the Camp of Dan, and it is behind the back of Kiriath Jearim. Thanks, that's what I need to know. From there, they crossed over to Mount Ephraim, and when they had arrived at the house of Micah, the 5 men who before had been sent to consider the land of Laish said to the rest of their brothers, "You know that in these houses there is an ephod and a teraphim, and a molten idol and a graven image. Consider what it may please you to do." And when they had turned aside a little, they entered to the house of the Levite youth, who was in the house of Micah. And they greeted him with peaceful words. Now, the 600 men, who were all armed, were standing before the door. But those who had entered the house of the youth strove to take away the graven image, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten idol. But the priest was standing in front of the door, with the 600 very strong men waiting not far away. And so those who had entered took away the graven image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten idol. Hey Terrace, that was the 3rd time that they listed all those things instead of just saying the random garbage that nobody cares about.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
It's very important you know what the items are.
Oh, yeah, you weren't around, but basically my father is a bit of a genius. So when I talked to him about it, about the fact that I read the Bible and how poorly written it is, he basically said, like, think about who's the Bible written for? How intelligent is the average reader? And you have to consider when the Bible was written. They're not very smart. So obviously, if you want people to remember, you just gotta repeat the stuff again and again, again and again and again and again and again.
Fair. They did mention that only like 2 sentences ago, so it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, there's your proof that people back then were fucking stupid. But hey, guess what?
As if we didn't know that already.
Yeah, but...
Just like me today.
Hey! You're stealing my jokes, I'm leaving. Fuck you.
Come back. Well, the only thing I got to entertain people with is a sandwich I'm making with curd cheese. Because fucking hell do I like curd cheese. Ooh, that was the beer.
Trying to think of a curd pun, and I really can't.
Well, quite cheesed off about that.
And the priest said to them, "What are you doing?" And they responded to him, "Be silent and place your finger over your mouth.
What are you running?
And come with us so that we may have you as a daddy as well as a priest." Thanks, Bible. "For which is better for you, to be a priest in the house of one man or in one tribe and family in Israel?" And when he had heard this, he agreed to their words. And he took the ephod and the idols. Wait, idols? Multiple? Wasn't it one before?
Not anymore.
It was the molten idol. And so apparently the idols, I mean, obviously, the idols that have been mentioned several times before. You all know what we're talking about. And the graven image, the singular one, of course, and he set out with them. And while traveling, they had also sent the children and the cattle and all that was valuable to go ahead of them. Wow, so they left the women behind. I just had to. That one was too free.
Fuck's.
And when they were far from the house of Micah, the men who were living in the houses of Micah, crying out together, followed them. Speaking of following, and they began to shout behind their backs. And when they had looked back, they said to Micah, "What do you want? Why are you crying out?" And he responded, "You have taken away my Skytises, which I made for myself, and the priest, and all that I have. And do you say, what is it that you want?" And but what is
What?
you've taken away my Skytises? Okay, makes sense. Which I've made for myself, sure. And the priest, and all that I have. Okay. And do you say, what is it that you want? I guess they didn't. So he's basically saying, you took everything I have, and you didn't ask what I want or need. So you took everything and left me with nothing and didn't even care? Is that what he's trying to say?
Maybe it's like one of those things of like, you took everything, what else do you want?
What did they take? Everything. I don't.
Holy shit.
I'm confused. Oh yeah, I'm confused. Oh, my bad. I am no longer confused. And the sons of Dan said to him, "Take care that you no longer speak to us. Otherwise, men with a mind for violence may overwhelm you, and you yourself would perish with all your house."
Boy, I sure like violence.
I mean, that's one way to say, shut the fuck up and never talk to me again. What the fuck? And so they continued on the journey that they had begun. But Micah, seeing that they were stronger than he was, returned to his house. Now the 600 men took the priest and all the things we stated above. Did you just replace this, Terrace?
I don't think so.
It literally says, and the things we stated above. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, Terrace, but this one I just no. What the fuck? Where's my?
If you check it and it's as the original, you get a drink double.
Sure. Okay. What are we? The things we stated above. Let's try searching for that. Now the 600 men took the things we stated above. What the fuck? What? This book just all of a sudden they just decide, you know what? We're not gonna list everything again. No, we had enough.
Now that we're actually a paragraph later, they decide to say everything listed above.
And the next paragraph, they list it all again.
Honestly, I would be surprised if they didn't. That is literally the first time. I also like how the Bible says the things we stated above. This is like such a bizarre way to phrase it. It's like, who's we? The narrators, the people who wrote this? Is this like a fourth wall break? You know what? There we go. We're making a comment here. That is just... I don't know what to say. Now the 600 men took the priest and the things we stated above, and they went to Laish. And to a people quiet and secure, and they struck them down with the edge of the sword, as opposed to the hilt. You know, because you're stupid and you would assume they struck them with the hilt. But no, they did it with the edge. And they burned the city with fire, as opposed to burning it with water. For no one at all sent reinforcements, because they lived far away from Sidon, and they had no associations or business with any man.
Wow. Only woman.
No, only cattle. Now the city was situated in the region of Rehob, and building it up again, they lived in it, calling the name of the city Dan, according to the name of their daddy, who had been born of Israel, though before it was called Laish. And they established for themselves a graven image. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Osmosis, with his sons, were priests in the tribe of Dan, even until the day of their captivity. Wow, spoiler alert! And the idol of Micah remained with them during the entire time that the house of Skytis was in Shiloh. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Oh, really? You don't say.
Where have I heard that one before?
Oh,
Nah,
now
you couldn't have. The Bible doesn't repeat itself.
You're right, I'm
No.
sorry.
only history. Judges 19. There was a certain man, a Levite, living beside Mount Ephraim, who took a wife from Bethlehem of Judah.
Just the one.
She left him, and she returned to the house of her daddy in Bethlehem, and she stayed with him
Wow.
for 4 months. And her husband followed her, wishing to be reconciled with her, and to speak kindly to her, and to lead her back with him.
We should get the guy a t-shirt that says my wife left me and took the kids.
We should get a t-shirt that says, like, my wife tied me to my bed 3 times, and then said the, what the fuck were they called, are upon us? I also really like, I just had an idea as I was reading this. If they already had firearms back then, just reading this as, and to speak kindly to her, and to let her back with him, as opposed to lead. AKA just fucking take her out for leaving. And he had with him a servant and 2 donkeys. Oh no.
Oddly specific.
Remember what we read about the donkeys?
I'd rather not.
And she received him and brought him into the house of her daddy. And when his daddy-in-law had heard about this and he had seen him, he met him with joy. And he embraced the man. And the son-in-law stayed in the house of his daddy-in-law for 3 days, eating and drinking with him in a friendly manner. But on the 4th day, arising in the night, he intended to set out. But his daddy-in-law took hold of him, and he said to him, "First, taste a little bread, and strengthen your stomach, and then you shall set out." And they sat down together, and they ate and drank. And the daddy of the young woman said to his son-in-law, "I asked you to remain here today, so that we may rejoice together." But getting up, he intended to begin to set out. But nevertheless, his daddy-in-law pressed him resolutely and made him remain with him. But when morning came, the Levite was preparing for his journey, and his daddy-in-law said to him again, "I beg you to take a little food and to be strengthened until the daylight increases. And after that, you shall set out." Are you okay, Terrace?
I'm not, are you?
No. Therefore they ate together. And the young man got up so that he might travel with his wife and servant. And his daddy-in-law spoke to him again. "Consider that the daylight is declining and it approaches toward evening. Remain with me also today." And
I'd like to meet someone who actually speaks like that.
spend the day in
The
gladness.
daylight is declining.
Also, that's the 3rd time he just prolonged his stay.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Boy, aren't you glad that I came up with that one?
I've never been happier in my life.
Rejoice and eat a
I
little.
am.
Strengthen your stomach.
Oh boy, I am.
And tomorrow you shall set out, so that you may go to your own house. His son-in-law was not willing to agree to his words. Oh damn. Instead, he immediately continued on, and he arrived opposite Jebus.
What?
It says Jebus. Literally right there. I'm not making this up, I promise.
Wait, that's not a replacement?
I don't think Jesus appears until New Testament, but I'm not sure. Also, if Terrace had replaced this, he wouldn't be that surprised. He's not that good of an actor. And I haven't, but feel free to check the VOD.
Hold on, where is this?
Or, hold on. We can just... How about this? Jeebus. Yes, Jeebus. Jeebus is in fact in the original one.
Oh, I'm doing a brand new find and replace.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna get confusing at all. And he arrived opposite Jeebus, which by another name is called Jerusalem, leading with him 2 donkeys carrying burdens.
There you go.
And his maid. What? First of all, isn't that spelled with one L?
well, not anymore.
And second of all, what kind of connection am I missing here? What? Why did... Oh wait, I only read Walmart. I didn't realize. I was like, why did you replace Jeebus with Walmart? That makes no sense. What does Jeebus have to do with Walmart?
Hold on.
That makes so much more sense now.
Oh.
Okay, let's try that again. And he arrived opposite Walmart brand Jesus, which by another name is called Jerusalem, leading with him 2 donkeys carrying burdens and his maid. His maid? Does that mean his wife or like his buddy?
Buddy old pal.
Don't call me buddy old pal friend.
Don't call me friend, hombre.
And now they were near Walmart brand Jesus. But day was turning into night. And the servant said to his lord, "Come, I beg you, let us turn aside to the city of the Walmart brand Jesus sites, so that we may find lodging in." His lord responded to him, "I will not enter into the town of a foreign people who are not the sons of Israel. Instead, I will cross over as far as Gibeah. How the fuck are you supposed to pronounce this?
Gibba.
Gibba money, please." "And when I will have arrived there, we will lodge in that place, or at least Tonian in the city of Ramah. But I hardly know."
Shut up.
Therefore, they passed by Walmart brand Jesus, and continuing on, they undertook the journey. But the sun went down on them when they were near Gibeah, which is of the tribe of Benjamin. And so they diverted to it, so that they might lodge there. And when they had entered, they were sitting in the street of the city, for no one was willing to give them hospitality. And behold,
I know this one.
they saw an old man returning from the field and from his work in the evening. And he was also from Mount Ephraim, and he was living as a stranger in Gibeah. For the men of that region were the sons of Benjamin. Oh, really?
No, he's lying to you.
Impossible.
Remember, lying was not a thing back then?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
They made an entire movie about that.
Lying wasn't invented yet.
Lying wasn't invented until shareholder meetings became a thing. And the old man, lifting up his eyes, saw the man sitting with his bundles in the street of the city. And he said to him, "Where have you come from? And where are you going? And where are you Cotton Eye Joeing?" He answered him, "We set out from Bethlehem of Judah, and we are traveling to our own place, which is beside Mount Ephraim. From there we went to Bethlehem, and now we go to the house of Skytis. But no one is willing to receive us under his roof. We have straw and hay as fodder for the donkeys, and we have bread and wine for the use of myself, and for your handmaid, and the servant who is with me." Why only the handmaid specifically? That's kind of sus.
Wink.
That's later. we lack nothing except lodging. And the old man responded to him, "Peace be with you, homie. I will provide all that is necessary. Only, I beg you, do not stay in the street." And he led him into his house, and he gave fodder to his donkeys. And after they had washed their feet, he received them with a banquet. And while they were feastonianing and refreshing their bodies with water, with food and drink after the labor of the journey, the men of that city, the sons of Belial, that is without yoke, came and surrounded the old man's house. What did you do? What? Why does this say this? Also, Belial, the Lord of Lies.
That's once again original.
Without yoke.
Isn't hold, I need to double check what yoke is, because I'm very confused right now.
Just a yoke, bro.
Okay, so the sons of Belial that is without yoke. Does that mean Belial means without yoke? Or the sons of Belial are without yoke?
Yes.
I mean, either way, yoke's on me.
Yeah, that's the one.
What the fuck? What is wrong with this book? The sons of Belial, that is, without yoke, came and surrounded the old man's house. And they began knocking at the door, calling out to the lord of the house, and saying, "Bring out the man who entered your house, so that we may abuse him." Why do I have a feeling I know where this is going? Please, not again. No, this is... No, I refuse to let this happen. We're not having another Lot 2.0. Just no. No, 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 no. And the old man went out to them, and he said, "Do not choose, brothers, do not choose to do this evil. For this man has entered to my hospitality, and you must cease from this senselessness. I have a virgin daughter."
Oh, wow. That's a small step up.
My fucking god!
You do this?
Fuck.
What the fuck?
Mom, get the camera!
More like, wife, get the daughter. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Alright. I have a virgin daughter, and this man has a maid. I will lead them out to you, so that you may debase them and may satisfy your lust.
God.
Sigh. Only, I beg you, do not commit this crime against the nature on the man. But feel free to commit crime against my daughter. I mean, she's a virgin, just...
That's fine.
It's just a woman, TM.
I mean, honestly, from like Bible logic, women are inferior, as from what I can tell so far. So I guess it makes sense. You know, don't kill this man, who's also very important and was probably said by the Lord and all that. Kill this worthless woman, basically, instead. Or, well, not kill, but abuse. I guess in their in their values back then, from that mindset, it makes some sense. It's still fucking bizarre how easily everybody gives up their daughter.
Oh, it is impressive.
Yeah, that was fucking. That was a snap of a finger.
I mean, imagine if you're back then in those times and you're just horny and you just gather up your friends, you go around somebody's house and you're like, "Come out, or we will hurt you," and then the person will just be like, "No, I have my daughter," and then you can satisfy your needs. What the fuck is this? What is this universe?
Did it ever occur to you it was by design? God's design to be precise.
You know what? I could misinterpret this in so many ways, but I will just not. Also, Mr. Uncult was trying to say something.
That sounds like his
So
problem.
out of left field.
That was uncalled for.
True.
But they were not willing to agree to his words. So the man, discerning this, led out his maid to them, and he delivered her to their sexual abuse. Wait. Hold. So he basically said, "Don't kill him. Do whatever you want to my daughter and her husband." or no, his mate, whatever the fuck his mate is. So do whatever you want to this woman and some other person. But they, as in the people outside, were not willing to agree. So the man, as in the man of the house, let out his mate to them, and he delivered her. Did you replace handmaid with maid at any point, Terrace?
No.
Okay, so does maid refer to his wife?
Precise.
Probably.
Perchance.
Because then this means he's offering his wife and his virgin daughter. And the people outside were like, nah, we're not having any of this. So he just decided, you know what? They're not agreeing. I will just lead them outside. Like what? And then they're gonna do it anyway because they're so horny. And then he's like, "Ha! You abused them, so you implicitly entered into this contract. So now you're no longer allowed to hurt this man."
Seems legit.
What? They were not willing to agree, and still he proceeds to do this. This seems very nonsensical. And when they had abused her for the entire night, they released her in the morning. But the woman, as darkness was receding, came to the door of the house where her lord was staying, and there she fell down.
Sounds like this really is a very kinky fucking book.
I mean, at what point did you decide to replace came?
About 2 minutes ago.
Okay. So it's probably in the sheet, because I was wondering if that was listed. Okay. When morning came, the man arose, and he opened the door so that he might complete his journey.
Hold on a fucking minute. I don't need to be reading that to know. That's not in there.
So that he might complete the journey that he had begun. And, what damn it, behold.
Yeah.
His maid was lying before the door, with her hands reaching out to the threshold. And he, thinking that she was resting, said to her, "Get up and let us walk." "You want to go for a walk? Who's a good boy?" Yes, I lead my wife outside to an angry mob and just tell them, "You know what? Abuse the fuck out of her, I don't care." And then the next morning, she's just laying on the doorstep. She's probably just resting from all the sexual action she had last night, right? Come on, go up and walk. Get up and walk. Reasonable. But since she gave no response, realizing... What? But since she gave no response, realizing that she had died, he took her up, and he laid her on his donkey, and he returned to his house. Well, that escalated fucking quickly. So, to summarize, there's a stranger visiting the town, and nobody wants to give him hospitality. Then one guy decides, you know what? You can come to my home. And then everybody in the village just gathers up in an angry mob and says, "Bring this man out so we may slap the fuck out of him." This guy just says, "Nah, but you can have my wife and my virgin daughter instead," and just wink, wink. And then they're like, "No." Then he decides, you know what, I'm just gonna bring my wife and daughter out anyway, because they deserve some fun, right? And then the wife gets abused, but not the daughter, for whatever reason. Or maybe the daughter didn't get fucked to death or something. But his wife got fucked to death somehow. Not sure how that works, but I don't think I need to know. No, wait, she didn't. Hold. Wait. No, but the woman, as darkness was receding, so in the very early morning, she went to the door. So she didn't get fucked to death.
Hold on.
She was still able to get up and go to the house, and then she collapsed on the doorstep and died.
Can I just point out that this book gets even better the further you read on?
No, you cannot. That is illegal. Just okay. I mean, I guess if you lack too much sleep, at some point you're just gonna collapse and die. So maybe maybe her husband already didn't let her sleep the past few nights, and then he's like, "Ha, go out and have some fun." Wink, wink. And then she gets another sleepless night, and then she tries to walk to the bed and collapses on the way. How does that even work? And then he opens the door and he's like, "Ha, get up, let's walk." Oh, he's dead.
Unlucky.
Well, maybe people back then, really liked it rough.
I really like the image of just, "Get up, let us walk." And then he just kicks her with the foot, no response. And then he's just like, "Unlucky."
God damn it, not again.
God damn it, I guess I gotta return that one. Let me check what the warranty is. What the fuck? Just... what the fuck? But literally, what the fuck? This book is just... This is truly the book of our time. And when he had arrived, he took up a sword and he cut into pieces, this is his last resort, the dead body of his wife, with her bones into 12
Actually,
parts.
shut the fuck up.
What do you mean? Okay, I will shut up and Terrace will continue reading.
Oh. No one's gonna read. We're just gonna sit here in silence, think about what we've done.
No, we're not Linkin Park.
God fucking damn it.
You know, I would assume that at this point you've become numb to my jokes. But in the end, you aren't.
They somehow keep getting worse.
I know, you're just thinking about how to burn it down. But, yeah. You keep drinking, Terrace. This is not good. Have you tried breaking the habit?
Fuck.
I will come to Germany.
I think you need to drink more, but that would just mean you'll end up crawling to your bed.
I'm gonna go home.
You need more alcohol, not tomatoes. Tomatoes are not a catalyst for alcohol.
I don't know, they're pretty good tomatoes.
Well, that one went whoosh, okay. Terrace was just going the undertow. No. That's when somebody places their foot on your forehead. Then you're undertow.
Classic.
Okay, and when he had arrived, he took up a sword and he cut into pieces the dead body of his wife with her bones into 12 parts, because that's what you just do. And he sent the pieces into all the parts of Israel.
What the fuck? Or normal
This is
behavior.
like, do you know this website where you can buy like literal elephant shit and have it sent to somebody? This is like the equivalent. Oh, my wife died. Okay, you know what? I'll cut her into 12 pieces and just send it to random people just to fuck with them. What?
Kind of an ingenious plan, actually. Now that you mention it.
Cut my wife into pieces. This is my last resort. Shipping it all across Israel. I don't either.
There it
Are you
is.
confused or annoyed? Because then there's a rule.
Yeah, I'm way out of here.
And when each one had seen this, they were crying out together. Never has such a thing been done in Israel. From the day that our daddies ascended from Egypt, even to the present day. Let a sentence be brought, and let us decide in common what ought to be done. And that's the end of it. I love this cliffhanger. It's like, he chopped his wife into 12 pieces, and then
precisely 12.
And then sent it to all parts of Israel. I assume one per tribe, maybe, or something like that. And then they all said, even though they were all very far away from each other, but they all said very precisely, word by word, what it says here. But you don't really know, what are they upset about? Are they upset about the wife being dead? Does cutting your wife into pieces mean that she was fucked to death? Or are they upset about the fact that he did cut his wife into pieces? Or are they upset about the fact that he shipped his wife to them? Or is there a fifth thing that I can think of?
I'm pretty sure it's because he cut her into pieces. That's
So they were like,
that's a bit of a psychopath thing to do, to be fair.
okay, so they were like, this guy cut his wife into pieces. This is the last resort. We're suffocating him until he's no longer breathing.
Would you like to be lightly stabbed?
You have no idea how welcome you are, Terrace. Why is giving me a redirect notice again? Fuck off.
Utterly deranged.
Yes, we have 20 judges. I enjoy. Judges? 20. And so all the sons of Israel went out like one man from Dan to Beersheba with the land of Gilead, and they gathered together before the Lord at Mizpah. Hey, Terrace, the place is called Beersheba.
Yeah. Okay, sure, why not?
And all the chiefs of the people... Chiefs?
Hello?
Well, what are
That's
chiefs?
a new one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a new title for Skytis.
Sorry, it's chefs.
No, it says chiefs. But feel free to change my mind.
That's
And all the chiefs of the people and every tribe of Israel convened as an assembly of the people of Skytis. 400,000 foot soldiers for battle. What the fuck is a foot soldier? Does he kick people to death?
It's a soldier without feet.
No, it's a foot soldier, so he has at least one.
No, he doesn't.
He fights with his foot.
No, he doesn't have feet. He's just looking for feet. Or,
that would be a looking for foot soldier.
No, he's fighting feet. It's a soldier trained to fight feet. So essentially, a chihuahua.
So that's why there's so many people with foot fetishes nowadays, because there are no more foot soldiers. It all makes sense. Thank you, Terrace.
You're welcome.
This was not hidden from the sons of Benjamin, that the sons of Israel had ascended to Mizpah. And the Levite, the husband of the woman who was killed, being questioned as to how so great a crime had been perpetrated. I just misread that as penetrated, and I just...
Yeah, you dirty birdie.
How so great a crime had been perpetrated, responded, I went to give me money, please, of Benjamin with my wife, and I diverted to that place. And behold, the men of that city at night surrounded the house in which I was staying, intending to kill me. And they abused my wife with such incredible fury of lust. I don't have words for... no, I don't have words. No, I don't.
This is literally I think this might be my new favorite book.
This goes hard.
Oh, you know what else goes hard? The angry mob outside of his house last night.
Apparently.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Oh my fucking god. And they abused my wife with such an incredible fury of lust that in the end she died. I play Fury of Lust. He will fuck you to death and send your monsters to the graveyard. And I'm allowed to draw 2 cards.
Well, you got a mill 7.
And taking her up, I cut her into pieces. And I sent the parts into all the borders of your possession. For never before was such a nefarious crime and so great a sin committed in Israel. He sent her out. Abused her as... What was his exact wording?
Eat.
I have a virgin daughter and this man has a maid.
I
will lead them out to you so that you may debase them and may satisfy your lust. Okay, this might sound crazy, but what if there were like... how many men were there? Let's just say there's 400 men. And they all are incredibly horny. So they all need to... As per what he said, they all want to satisfy their lust. So she got fucked to death because there's 400 or however many men and they all need to satisfy their lust. So how is it now a crime?
Gangbang, got it.
No. That's not a gangbang. That's like an orgy to the power of an orgy.
That's what we call a gangbang.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the orgy involves several gangbangs, but
No. The orgy implies presence of equal-ish amounts of both genders.
why would they have presents? Like, what are they gifting to each other?
Dildos.
Dildos nuts in your mouth, got him.
The entire stream is just getting out of control.
Yeah, just like last night. Help. For never before was such a nefarious crime and so great a sin committed in Israel. You are all present.
What the fuck?
Speaking of presents. Oh my god. What the fuck? What are the odds of this? Holy shit. You are all present here, O sons of Israel. Discern what you ought to do. And all the people, standing, responded as if with the word of one man. We shall not return to our own tents, nor shall anyone enter into his own house. Ah, yes, thanks, OneDrive. A reminder that 1 year ago I took a screenshot. Thanks.
Well,
Where the fuck was I? I got nor shall anyone enter into his own house. But we shall do in common against Gibeah. We shall select 10 men out of 100 from all the tribes of Israel, and 100 out of 1,000, and 1,000 out of 10,000, so that they may transport supplies for the army, and so that we will be able to fight against Gibeah of Benjamin, and to repay for its crimes as it deserves. So basically they're just saying, we'll give you 10% of our men to give you supplies, and then you can just fuck over Gibeah of Benjamin.
seems legit. Totally not an overreaction or anything.
Man, this just gets more and more fucked. Just like... And all of Israel convened against the city, like one man, with one mind and one counsel. And they sent messengers to the entire tribe of Benjamin, who said, why has so great a wickedness been found among you, Sus? Deliver the men of Gibeah, who have perpetrated this deplorable act, so that they may die, and so that the evil may be taken away from Israel. And they were not willing to listen to the command of their brothers, the sons of Israel. Instead, out of all the cities that were their lot, they convened at Gibeah, so that they might bring them assistance, and so that they might contend against the entire people of Israel. Just Lord is such a cursed word at this point. I don't have words for how cursed this is. And there were found from Benjamin 25,000 who drew the sword, aside from the inhabitants of Gibeah, who were 700 very strong men, fighting with the left hand as well as with the right hand, and casting stones from a sling so accurately that they were able to strike even a hair, and the path of the stone would by no means miss to either side. Well, they didn't specify the distance. I could use a slingshot to hit your hair if I'm, like, literally holding it onto your head. It's not particularly difficult.
True.
But I wouldn't be able to do it, like, from 100 meters away or something like that. So I like how this is trying to describe the accuracy, and it just has literally no information about it. And then...
Also so redundant.
Honestly, they might as well just rename the book to The Redundant. Because that's what it's all about. Maybe that's the point. Maybe they were like, okay, nobody's gonna read the Bible, but if you skip over it, and you only read half of it, you'll still get the entire gist, because we put everything twice in it. Maybe that's why they made it redundant.
Holy shit, it's genius. If you just skim through the entire thing, you get just as much info.
Then, too, among the men of Israel, apart from the sons of Benjamin, there were found 400,000 who drew the sword and who were prepared for battle. And they rose up and went to the house of Skytis, that is, to Shiloh. And they consulted Skytis, and they said, "Who shall be, in our army, the first to contend against the sons of Benjamin?" And the Lord responded to them, "That counts, fuck you.
Of course it does. I'd be upset if it didn't.
Let Judah be your leader." And immediately the sons of Israel, rising up in the morning, made camp near Gibeah. And setting out from there to fight against Benjamin, they began to assault the city. Or better to assault than to insult, huh? And the sons of Benjamin, departing from Gibeah, slew 22,000 men from the sons of Israel on that day. Again, the sons of Israel, trusting in both strength and number, set their troops in order, in the same place where they had contended before. But first, they also went up and wept before the Lord, even until night. And they consulted him, and said, "Should I continue to go forth, so as to contend against the sons of Benjamin, my brothers, or not?" And he responded to them, "Ascend against them, and undertake the struggle." And when the sons of Israel had continued to do battle against the sons of Benjamin on the next day, the sons of Benjamin burst forth from the gates of Gibeah. And meeting them, they made such a frenzied slaughter against them that they struck down 18,000 men who drew the sword. As a result, all the sons of Israel went to the house of Skytis, and sitting down, they wept before the Lord. Just imagine there's like a giant blob of lard and they all just go there and they're like... And they fasted that day until evening. And they offered to him holocausts and victims of peace offerings. And they inquired about their state. At that time, the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord was in that place. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Triple Arib, was the first ruler of the house. And so they consulted the Lord, and they said, "Should we continue to go forth in battle against the sons of Benjamin, our brothers, or should we cease?" And the Lord said to them,
Yep. So glad he did.
"Ascend, for tomorrow I will deliver them into your hands." And the sons of Israel stationed ambushes around the city of Gibeah. And they brought out their army against Benjamin a third time, just as they had done on the first and second times. But the sons of Benjamin again burst forth boldly from the city, and since their enemies were fleeing, they pursued them a long way, so that they might wound or kill some of them, just as they had done on the first and second days. And they turned their backs along two paths, one bringing them towards Bethel, the other towards Gibeah. And they struck down about 30 men.
Wow.
For they thought that they were falling back, as they had done before. But instead, skillfully feigning flight, they undertook a plan to draw them away from the city, and by seeming to flee, to lead them along the above stated paths. And so all the sons of Israel, rising up from their positions, set their troops in order in the place which is called Baal Tamar. Likewise, the ambushes that encircled the city began, little by little, to reveal themselves, and to advance upon the western part of the city. Moreover, another 10,000 men from all of Israel were provoking a conflict with the inhabitants of the cities. And the war grew heavy against the sons of Benjamin, and they did not realize that, on all sides of them, death, with one F, was imminent. And the Lord struck them down in the sight of the sons of Israel, and they put to death, with one F, on that day, 25,000 of them, along with 100 men, all warriors and those who drew the sword. But the sons of Benjamin, when they had seen themselves to be the weaker, began to flee. And the sons of Israel, discerning this, gave them room to flee, so that they might arrive at the ambushes that were prepared, which they had positioned near the city. And after they had risen up suddenly from hiding, and those of Benjamin had turned their backs to those who cut them down, they entered the city, and they struck it with the edge of the sword. Now the sons of Israel had given a sign to those whom they had stationed in ambushes, so that after they had seized the city, they would light a fire, and by the smoke ascending on high, they would show that the city was captured. And then the sons of Israel, discerning this sign during battle, for the sons of Benjamin had thought that they fled, and and they pursued them forcefully, cutting down 30 men from their army. And they saw something like a pillar of smoke ascending from the city. Likewise, Benjamin, looking back, discerned that the city was captured, for the flames were being carried on high. And those who before had pretended to flee, turning their faces, withstood them more strongly. And when the sons of Benjamin had seen this, they turned their backs in flight, and they began to go toward the way of the desert, with the adversary pursuing them to that place also. Moreover, those who had set fire to the city also met them. And so it happened that they were cut down on both sides by their enemies, nor was there any respite for the dying. They were killed and struck down on the Estonian side of the city of Gibeah. Now those who were put to death, with one F, in the same place were 18,000 men, all very robust fighters. And when those who remained of Benjamin had seen this, they fled into the wilderness, and they were traveling toward the rock which is called Rimmon. In that fight also, among those who were scattering in different directions, they slew 5,000 men. And though they scattered all the more, they continued to pursue them. And then they put to death, with one F, another 2,000. And so it happens that all those who were slain from Benjamin in various places were 25,000 fighters, very willing to go to war. And so there remained from the entire number of Benjamin 600 men who were able to escape and to flee into the wilderness. And they settled at the rock of Rimmon for 4 months. But the sons of Israel, returning, had struck with the sword all that remained in the city, from men even to cattle, and all the cities and villages of Benjamin were consumed with devouring flames.
Wow.
That's a pretty smart plan. I mean, it really worked out for them. And you know,
I like how murder is a sin unless you're doing it to someone who's not believing you actively.
I mean, this was just
acceptable.
revenge. This is not murder. This is revenge. That's technically different. Get your laws straight.
No, it's revenge via murder.
No. It's not murder. It's revenge. It's different.
No.
It just happens to involve a person dying.
Maybe complete coincidence.
It's not my fault that he just falls over and ceases to live.
Yeah, all you did was just insert a sword in his stomach.
Yeah.
They're just being dramatic.
Yeah.
How would I know that would kill him?
Come on, enough of thinking. You can get up now.
Carl, that kills people.
Come on, stop being such a drama queen.
Oh,
Oh yeah, your stomach hurts. Shut the fuck up. Get up. Get up. Hello?
pokes him curiously.
But you know what? I have a brilliant idea.
Oh, no.
It involves me being AFK for a minute or so.
Wait.
Oh no.
It'd be funny if he just comes back with a fursuit.
That'd be the best choice.
Only choice. There's one correct answer here, and it's that.
If he comes back with anything else, I'll be so disappointed though.
As you should be. Yeah, we're both of us are great entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way about it.
This is what I came here to see. I mean, you can still read the Bible in the background, technically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to scroll up to actually supposed to go. That's fine. I'll just advertise myself. Hold on. Yeah, I'll just advertise myself in chat for no reason.
Good.
Just to keep people just to keep people interested.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. I mean, you're wasting your precious time that could be spent on writing more horror stuff. So.
As if I'm gonna write anything.
You're gonna ride a donkey, I hope.
Send a donkey pic.
Okay, are you ready?
No.
Good. I like that. You wanna know why? Because you're being honest, that means I can trust you.
Wow. Not where I was
Judges
going with that.
21. And so this. What? Why am I. Help, I'm having a stroke. Let me try this again. I'm just so used to the chapter starting with so or and or something like that my brain was just like, yeah, let's do that. Even though I just see the words right in front of me. Judges 21. The sons of Israel had also taken an oath at Mizpah, and they said, none of us shall give his daughters as a wife to the sons of Benjamin. And they all went to the house of Skytis at Shiloh. And sitting in his sight until evening, they lifted up their voice, and they began to weep with a great wailing, saying, why, O Lord, Skytis of Israel, has this evil happened among your people, so that this day one tribe would be taken away from us? Then, rising at first light on the next day, they built an altar. And they offered holocaust and victims of peace offerings there. And they said, who, out of all the tribes of Israel, did not ascend with the army of the Lord? For they had bound themselves with a great oath when they were at Mizpah, that whoever was not present would be slain. And the sons of Israel, having been led to repentance over their brother Benjamin, began to say, one tribe has been taken away from Israel. From where shall they receive wives? For we have all sworn in common that we will not give our daughters to them. Ah, yes, because an entire tribe does not have a single wife? What? For this reason, they said, who is there out of all the tribes of Israel that did not ascend to the Lord at Mizpah? And behold. God damn it, that's the wrong button. Behold. The inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead were found not to have been among that army.
Same.
I'm just trying to make the technical side of the stream just as scuffed as the book that we're reading.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Likewise, in the times when they had been at Shiloh, not one of them was found to be there. And so they sent 10,000 very robust men, and they instructed them, saying, go and strike down the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, not the hilt, you fucking imbeciles, including their wives and little ones.
For fuck's sake.
And this shall be what you ought to do. Every one of the male gender, as well as all the women of whichever gender they are. I don't know. Harris, help me out. Of what gender are women again? There's the male gender, and then there's the...
something to do with helicopters, I think.
Ah, yes, and all the women of the helicopter gender. As well as all the women who have known men shall be put to death. With one F. But the virgins you shall reserve. 400 virgins who had not known the bed of a man were found from Jabesh Gilead, and they brought them to the camp at Shiloh in the land of Canaan. And they sent messengers to the sons of Benjamin who were at the rock of Rimmon, and they instructed them so that they would receive them in peace. I just like how the rock is called the rock of Rimmon. Like, what are they doing there? Are they rimming each other?
What? Literally just do not. Like, I actively cease.
What does he actively see? Actively sees trees?
Shut.
And the sons of Benjamin went, at that time, and wives were given to them from the daughters of Jabesh Gilead, without a dash, because this is a different Jabesh Gilead, because we can't fucking decide if we want to write our cities with a dash or without, and if we want to use the new or old name or both, because go fuck yourself. But others were not found, whom they might give in a similar manner. And all of Israel was very saddened, and they did penance for destroying one tribe of Israel. And those greater by birth said, What shall we do with the remainder? That's not how that song goes.
Fuck's sake.
What shall we do with the remainder? Those who have not received wives. For all the females of Benjamin have been cut down. And we must take great care and make provisions with very great diligence, so that one tribe may be wiped away. So that one tribe may not be wiped away from Israel. Wait. So they go to war against the tribe of Benjamin, but they're also making sure that the tribe is not wiped away? Am I understanding this correctly? So they go to war against the tribe of Benjamin, and they kill everyone except for virgin women. Even children, but just if you're a grown woman, but you're a virgin, then you get to live. And they're trying to make sure that those wives are given to other men of other tribes, so the tribe of Benjamin can continue to exist.
Yes.
Flawless logic.
Also, now that I think about it, yeah, flawless logic. Yeah, they kill all the children, but if they are virgin women, do not kill them. But children, yeah, go ahead and kill them. You know, that sounds to me like what's the word, that H word? Oh yes, horny. That's the one. As for our own daughters, we are not able to give to them. We are not able to give them, being bound by an oath and a curse. When we said, "Accursed is he who will give any of his daughters to Benjamin as a wife." And they took counsel. And they said, "Behold, there's a yearly solemnity of the Lord at Shiloh, which is situated to the north of the city of Bethel, and on the Estonian side on the way that one takes from Bethlehem to Shechem, from Bethel to Shechem, and to the south of the city of Lebanon."
Lebanon.
What's Lebanon?
Club.
I mean, it's probably better than being fucked to death. What would you know about that?
Better deal.
Please share your experience with the class. And they instructed the sons of Benjamin, and they said, "Go and hide in the vineyards. And when you will have seen the daughters of Shiloh being led out to dance, according to custom, go forth suddenly from the vineyards, and let each one seize one wife from among them, and travel into the land of Benjamin with..." What? Which sons of Benjamin? What? What am I reading? I lost.
Wait, what?
The entire. What? I'm so lost right now. Who said to the sons of? Why are there still sons of Benjamin? Who's saying this?
Yeah, same.
I am so confused. So the other tribes of Israel are saying to the sons of Benjamin, even though they were all cut down, however the fuck that works, and they said, "Go hide." And when you see those daughters dancing, we play musical chairs, but just with women. So just go grab one and and what? It's not called Le Petit Mort for a reason. It's not called it for a reason, so it's called it for no reason. Yeah, you fucked that one up, but yeah, I know what you're trying to say, and I'm not quite sure what the specific context is on this, but if I assume that it's related to what happened a page or two ago, then I understand, and yep, that makes a lot of sense. And Terrace being an uncultured fuck does not have a single idea what I'm talking about. But I approve. I approve your improvement.
I'm glad you do.
Harris, did you know that is it orgasm? I don't know, but I think the French word for orgasm is le petit mort. Mort? I don't know the pronunciation. I think it's le petit mort. And now you're like, okay, I don't care. But now I will tell you the petit, small, mort, death. Yes, orgasm in French is in fact the small death. And now you're just thinking, oh, I'm so glad Skytis told me this.
Why are you like this?
not called Le Petit Mort. It's called Le Grand Mort. Yeah, sure. Okay, so apparently they're playing musical chess, but with women before they assault the land of Benjamin or not, or I'm fucking lost. I lost some Skytis. And when their daddies and brothers arrive and they begin to complain against you and to argue, we will say to them, take pity on them, for they have not seized them by right of war or conquest. Instead, begging to receive them, you did not give them, and so the sin was on your part. What? You have not seized them? What? Who is complaining about what?
Wait, what?
And when their daddies, so the daddies of the and the brothers of the women that you took. Okay, I think what happened here is they fought against the sons of Benjamin and they took a bunch of their virgin women. And then they just put them on a vineyard and they said, okay, you all go play musical chairs and each one grab a wife. And then when the daddies of those wives, so the Benjamin people, and I guess their brothers, so basically when the Benjamin males arrive and they're like, yo, what the fuck? Then you will say, take pity on them, I guess them being, take pity on the people that took your daughters and sisters as a wife. Because those women have not been seized by right of war or conquest, instead begging to receive them, you did not give them. Because we were begging to, no, that, when was anybody begging to, no, I don't understand. It makes no fucking sense. I thought I had it, but
in some fucking shrubs.
Wait, what? Who has a shrub?
I like shrubs.
Like they were hiding in the vineyard, so they weren't begging for the daughters.
Isn't Shrubs a TV show about medical people in a hospital doing?
I mean, you're wrong, but I appreciate the spirit.
Oh yeah, you need some more spirit.
You're right.
What the? No, I give up. I genuinely give up on this sentence. Whatever. And so the sons of Benjamin did just as they had been ordered. And according to their number, they seized for themselves one wife each, out of those who were let out dancing. And they went into their own possession, and they built up their cities, and they lived in them. The sons of Israel also returned, according to their tribes and families, to their tents. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Instead, each one did what seemed right to himself. Oh, really?
Oh.
Okay,
Wait,
so I think...
I'm confused. Is there a king in Israel, maybe? I can't tell.
No, there's just a king for feet. But that's a different story.
True, there's a lot of foot soldiers.
And there's also a king for huge orgies.
Also, if you're confused, you drink.
Well, there is one complication with that, Terrace.
I don't take no for an answer.
Okay, so I think what happened, I'm gonna try again. This is probably gonna be wrong, but so they killed most of the tribe of Benjamin, took the virgin women, and they let some of the males live. And they put the virgin women out and they told them, yo, go dance. And then some people, and then they told some of the non-Benjamin tribes of Israel, here, go grab a wife. And then the men, the surviving men of the Benjamin tribe arrived and they're like, and they were confused. Like, why?
Why are you running?
But the idea was they didn't want to completely extinguish the tribe of Benjamin because, hey, it's one of their tribes. So they decided, you know what? We're going to take all the wives and let a few males live, and then they can, I guess, repopulate whatever the tribe of Benjamin. Because I don't know why some people get to live, but everybody else gets to die for one person's sin. Well, I guess it's not one person's sin, but one city's sin, because they all didn't give hospitality.
We call it spite.
Sure, let's go with that. Yeah, I don't think my explanation was good, but it vaguely makes sense in my head. Vaguely.
Well, that's all that matters.
Okay. The Book of Ruth.
No.
No more.
It's judgment time.
Oh, what? What? No, I'm looking at this. Mysterious man puts sauce. We don't get more. This is all of the title you get. Sauce in my room. Ah, yes. I always thought of the Tooth Fairy as more of a mystical creature, less of a weird old man, but...
What the fuck?
I just want to point out, this is the 2nd of May 2018? Or 1918, but I have a feeling it's 2018. Why is the quality so shit? Also, why is this guy's YouTube profile picture a chaos orb? And now I got Harriet's attention.
Well done.
Ah, yes, Prego. What?
Well, let me just send you this.
Uh,
That's not what I wanted to send you. Copy image.
Send new. What the? You know, on the one hand, I'm amazed what kind of stuff you find, and I want to ask how are you finding this. But on the other hand, you're terrorist, so I don't think I need to ask. This man keeps breaking into my shop and poking bottles of Prego marinara sauce under my pillow. Why are you doing this? Do you work for Prego? I've replaced my luck 11 times now. You footage of men and contact me with it. That is one of the most quality shitposts I've seen in a while.
On that website, there is an email, and you actually get a reply when you send them an email.
Yeah, let's go to our management sheet.
Oh,
That concludes the book of Judges.
Which I gotta say, I quite enjoyed.
Okay, enjoyability. I want to point out, like the last session was one of the best we've had.
Yeah, I think this is the most fun I
The
had.
trees being like, "Hey, fig tree, rule over us." Nah. Hey, olive tree, rule over us. That was just like, and then this reading session also just. Honestly, this might actually be even better than Genesis. And back then, I still had like hopes and dreams and all that. So I'm torn between an 8 and a 9, but there was the session we did with Alex, so the second last one was a little dry. So I'll give it a 9. Might move it down to an 8 afterwards. But that was very good. Characters. We didn't really have many individual characters. We had the guy that was tied to his bed and then fucked over by his wife. Everybody else.
We had to give away his wife and cut her up.
I mean, we had some characters, but we didn't really like. They weren't very well described. There's a random man who sends out his wife, so the guy doesn't get killed and all that. Lost an Ark. I know. You ruined that one. It's I know our guy, but I appreciate that a lot. You know you need help when you make a spreadsheet for Bible readings. Jesus. No. It's Walmart. Jesus. Walmart spreadsheet. I don't know where you came from, but please stay. Don't go anywhere. We need you.
We like you. We'll give you cat food.
There's somebody that when you come to a new Twitch stream, there's like a prompt to introduce yourself, and you as a streamer can put anything there. And I just put something like introduce yourself with a pun if you're cool or something like that. And I think this is the first time that somebody's first time chat was actually a pun. You need Jesus, not me. No, it's too late for that. But yeah, hi. You made a mistake. Now live with it. Okay, so characters. I mean, there was the king that got shanked and then shed himself. But I guess that was more.
That was quality character development right there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think in terms of the characters. Yeah, I guess.
I think there was a lot of characters.
Yeah,
even a lot of interesting ones.
But
there just wasn't anything.
Well.
There just wasn't anything in depth.
Yeah, a lot of nonsense with an emphasis on nonce. So I don't think I can give this a great rating. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Somewhere around 6. Like it's not bad. It's just quantity over quality a little, but it's not bad. The characters mostly serve some kind of purpose. Writing. Oh boy. I mean, we introduced a repetitive rule for this specifically, but they did for the first time, as we stated before. So, but that's only one thing. Overall, it was, I guess, somewhere in between. It was not as dry as Deuteronomy or Numbers. So, and I think better than Joshua. Although, I think I'm gonna go with a 6. It was okay. Plot. Okay, plot.
Oh, it was fucking golden.
There was a lot going on. But that's
so
you're
much.
talking about comedy now. You're thinking of comedy.
No, even plot-wise, there was so much stuff.
Plot-wise, there was a lot of.
I mean, we went on a long war right towards the end, and there was
we had the war, the
great
seizing
crimes,
of cities,
there was
revenge.
some great crimes happening. There was some big shit.
The one thing that I'm missing is like the plot is not really connected, and then there's a new character, and then he lived for a few years, and then he got fucked over, and now he's on his quest to seek revenge. Just it's a little too. It's a collection of random stories basically. So, but it's overall still 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'm going with an 8.
Trying to, Genesis. I mean, Genesis had a lot going on. I'm going with an 8. It's on par with Genesis and Exodus. Comedy.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not going to comment any of this. This is just, there's nothing to say about this. Oh yeah, and we also need to reevaluate because we recently added the kinkiness. Kinky Genesis. What did we have? We had a lot of
we had the rib skip,
and incest. And I guess being naked, that's not really kink. That was not that much, but I think I'll just set it as a 5 for now, just a middle ground. And then I might reevaluate. Exodus. Was Exodus kinky at all, honestly?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's been a while, but I genuinely can't think of anything kinky in Exodus from the top of my head. I might just leave this at a 0.
What was the whole outlining of all the rules? Was that Leviticus?
That was definitely not Exodus. Exodus was about leaving Egypt. You know, there was osmosis. He was like supposed to be set out in a basket on a river and then just die. And then the daughter of Pharaoh found him and raised him as his son. And then he became super powerful. He had the snakes and all that. But genuinely, I can't think of anything that involved anything sexual or kinky at all. Like I can't think of one thing. Leviticus. It was mostly rules, but the rules were
there was some kinky rules, to be fair. Like you can't just if an animal fucks you while you accidentally fall in a position, that's still your fault.
What wasn't Leviticus that CBT on animals is not allowed? And also wasn't Leviticus was Leviticus the one with the if a man is fighting another man, the wife can't kick him in the balls or whatever it was?
No, I think that was done a bit later.
It might have been Numbers, but that was definitely. I'm 7 or 8.
I think that one was Joshua.
No, that was before Joshua.
It was much later on.
My favorite story is when who's God spread the gay agenda after flooding the world with his rainbow. Who does with that one? No. You're not allowed to be gay. There's Pornhub. No. If you want kinkiness, there's Bible. Numbers was relatively dry. It was about counting. And the tribes just
maths is not sexy. That's a 0.
Trying to think if there was anything kinky in it. I feel like there probably was. So I kind of want to give it a 1, but I can't think of anything. So I guess it was not that memorable. So yeah, I'll leave it as a 0. Deuteronomy, more laws.
Just fuck Deuteronomy. Skip next.
It was but it had some laws about sex again and all that. So that's kind of kinky. So I'm gonna give it a 2. But it was. I'm trying to really only evaluate kinkiness, not just factor in how terrible the writing was. And then we had Joshua. What was there?
Good question. I don't remember anything about Joshua.
I mean, you don't remember anything in general.
My brain is drawing a blank.
Get it?
No.
Your brain is shooting blanks as well.
Wow.
I feel like there was one thing. I'm just gonna give it a 1 because I very strongly feel like there was something. So I'm gonna put it at a 1, so it's above the others. But yeah, I felt like the Bible was more kinky overall, but clearly I was wrong.
I do like the trend at the bottom where it all just kind of shoots up.
Yeah,
We're getting better, you know. That's how we can say that. Yeah, good one. It's me in the morning.
Morninging.
In the morning.
Are you ready for the Book of Ruth?
Well, are you going to be rough with it?
It's gonna be a rough ride. Strap yourself
Nice.
in and strap yourself on. No, wait, that's kinky. Hold
So
on.
scared.
Rough 1.
I forgot you were even with us.
I have been pretty much silent.
I literally just got a fucking fry from hearing your voice.
I mean, to be fair, he
didn't know
wasn't
about
around
this
for most of this
friendship.
book, so he can't really evaluate it. So, but you're free to comment if you have something to comment, or you can pay a $20 fine if you would like. Ruth would like some money.
Give me all of your
Oh.
money.
I'm being fined.
Hello, I enjoy money.
The
my,
book.
my name is Mr. Krabs.
You know what? The Book of Ruth. Ruth 1. In the days of one of the judges, when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. And a man from Bethlehem in Judah departed to sojourn in the regions of the Moabites with his wife and 2 children. He called himself Elimelech, and his wife Naomi, and his 2 sons, the one Mahlon, and the other Chilion. Ephrathites from Bethlehem in Judah. Why Chilion? Did he put chili on him?
I hope so. I fucking love chili.
And entering into the region of the Moabites, he stayed there. And Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, died. Terrace,
Well, that was
Terrace,
fast.
you have a job. There's a new rule. New characters introduced and dies within 10 lines. Yeah, fuck you, that's a new rule. Yes, there's
There's ice cream on my beard.
no, there's beer in your ice cream. Yeah, whenever you find the time, please update our rules sheet. And Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, died. And she remained with her sons. They took wives from amongst us, the Moabites, of whom one was called Orpah. That's not how you spell they misspelled Oprah again. And the other called Ruth. Oh, I wonder if he's going to be important. And they lived there 10 years. And they both died. You know, I was gonna say you can't make this shit up, but clearly you can.
Oh, shut the fuck off.
I'll give you $10 to fuck off. And my 2 virgin daughter. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
Oh, that's brilliant.
What the fuck?
Oh. I love how the Bible
I'm
just
actually
arbitrarily
impressed.
introduces the character and they died. This is just.
Hello,
Oh.
I like bread.
Yes, please spread your bread cheeks.
Anyway.
And they both died, namely Mahlon and Chilion. And the woman was left alone, bereaved of her 2 children and her husband. I wonder if she's gonna die. No, wait. No, wait, she wasn't called Ruth, so maybe she's also gonna die. And she arose, so that she might journey to her native land, with both her daughters-in-law from the region of the Moabites. For she had heard that the Lord has provided for his people and had given them food. And so she departed from the place of her sojourn, with both her daughters-in-law, and having set out upon the way, she was about to return to the land of Judah. She said to them, "Go to the home of your mother. May the Lord deal mercifully with you, just as you have dealt with the dead and with me. May he grant you to find rest in the house of the husbands whom you will obtain by lot. Oh no. And she kissed them. They lifted up their voices and began to weep.
Oh, this was kind of gay.
Fucking weeps. I began to weep and to say, "We will journey with you to your people." But she answered, "Return, my daughters. Why come with me? Do I have any more sons in my womb so that you could hope for husbands from me? Return, my daughters. Go forth, for I am now exhausted by old age and not fit for the bond of marriage. Even if I were to conceive on this night and bear sons, if you were willing to wait until they were grown and had completed the years of adolescence," oh, that's a thing back then, interesting, "you would be elderly before you could marry. Do not do so, I beg you, my daughters. For your difficulties weigh upon me greatly, and the hand of the Lord has been set against me." Quite reasonable, honestly, what she's saying. I gotta admit that. In response, they lifted up their voices and began to weep again. Misspelled Oprah kissed her mother-in-law and then turned back. Ruth clung to her mother-in-law.
Fuck off.
Terrace, that was a cue for you that you have a job to do. Naomi said to her, "See, your kinswoman returns to her people and to her Skytis. Hurry after her." She answered, "Do not be against me, as if I would abandon you and go away. For wherever you will go, I will go. And where you will stay, I will also stay with you. You are my people, your people are my people, and your Skytis is my Skytis. Whichever land whichever land will receive you dying, in the same I will die, and there I will have the place of my burial. May Skytis cause these things to happen to me, and add more also, if anything except death, 1F, alone should separate you and I." Therefore,
What the fuck is... I can't find opera. The word doesn't exist anymore.
Orpa.
Yeah, I can't find... There it is.
Therefore, Naomi saw that Ruth, being firmly resolved in her soul, was determined to go with her, and that she was unwilling to be dissuaded, and that nothing further could convince her to return to her own. And so they set out together, and they came to Bethlehem. And when they had entered the city, the news quickly spread amongst them all. And the women said, "This is that Naomi." What? Yes, this is that Naomi that you all heard of. Thanks.
Yeah, that Naomi, of course.
Yeah.
That oddly specific one, yeah.
But she said to them, "Do not call me Naomi. That is beautiful. But call me Mara. That is bitter. For the Almighty has greatly filled me with bitterness. I went out full, and the Lord let me back empty. So then, why call me Naomi when the Lord has humbled me? When the Lord has humbled, and the Almighty has afflicted." Therefore Naomi went with Ruth, the Moabite, her daughter-in-law, from the land of her sojourn, and returned to Bethlehem at the time of the first reaping of the barley. Off to an interesting start. I will say that is a weird book. Ruth 2. But there was a man related to Elimelech, a powerful man, a very wealthy man named Boaz. And Ruth, the Moabite, said to her mother-in-law, "If you order, I will go into the field and gather the ears of grain which escape the reaping hand, wherever I will find favor with the daddy of a family, whoever will be compassionate to me." She answered her, "Go, my daughter." And so she went and gathered the ears of grain after the completion of the reaping. But it happened that this field was owned by Boaz, who was the kindred of Elimelech. And behold, he came out of Bethlehem and said to the reapers, "The Lord be with you." They answered him, "May the Lord bless you." And Boaz said to the young woman who was in charge of the reapers, "Whose young woman is this?" He answered him, "This is the Moabite woman who came with Naomi from the land of the Moabites. And she asked to gather the remnants of the ears of grain, following the steps of the reapers, and from morning until now she has remained in the field, and, indeed, not for one moment has she returned home." And Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen to me, daughter. Do not gather in any other fields, nor depart from this place, but join with my young women and follow where they reap. For I given orders to my young men." For I given? That's not how English. For I have given orders to my young men, so that no one is to harass you. And so whenever you are thirsty, go to the vessels and drink from the waters that the young men also drink. She, falling on her face, because she's fucking stupid and clumsy, and paying homage to the ground.
Everybody do their flop.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I would also like to pay homage to the ground. Said to him, "How did this happen to me? That I should find favor before your eyes.
This happened to me.
And that you would condescend to accept me, a foreign woman." He answered her, "Everything has been reported to me. What things you have done for your mother-in-law after the death, with one F, of your husband, and how you left your parents and the land in which you were born, and came to a people and did not to a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for your work, and may you receive a full reward from the Lord, the Skytis of Israel, to whom you have come, and under whose wings you have taken refuge." She said, "I have found favor before your eyes, my lord, who has consoled me, and you have spoken to the heart of your handmaid, who is unlike one of your young women." And Boaz said to her, "When mealtime begins, come here and eat bread, and dip your morsel in the I can't say that word. Terrace in the
Where's the where?
The bottom of 150.
Vinegar.
Terrace.
What?
That's against Twitch rules. You just said.
What?
There it is.
Hold on. You just said this.
Yeah, I know. I got just what you mean. Yeah.
And so she sat beside the reapers, and she piled up parched grain for herself, and she ate and was satisfied and carried off the leftovers. And then she arose from there, and so as to gather the ears of grain according to the custom. But Boaz commanded his servant, saying, "If she is even willing to reap with you, do not prevent her, and purposely let fall some from your bundles, and allow them to remain, so that she may gather without blushing, and let no one rebuke her gathering." Damn, he really likes her. And so, she gathered in the field until evening. And striking and threshing with a staff what she had gathered, she found about the measure of an ephah of barley. That is 3 measures. Yes, a measure of an ephah of barley is 3 measures.
Classic.
1 equals 3. Thanks. Big math.
Brilliant.
Massive brain.
Thanks, Bible. Carrying this, she returned to the city and showed it to her mother-in-law. Moreover, she offered it to her and even gave her the leftovers of her food with which she had been satisfied. And her mother-in-law said to her, "Where have you gathered today? And where have you found work? Blessed is he who took pity on you." And she informed her with whom she had been working, and she said the man's name, that he was called Boaz. Naomi answered her, "May he be blessed by the Lord, because the same kindness which he provided for the living, he also kept for the dead." And again she said, "This man is our near relative." And Ruth said, "He charged me with this also, that from now on I should join with his reapers until all the crop has been reaped." And her mother-in-law said to her, "It is better, my daughter, to go out reaping with this young woman, lest in a stranger's field someone may confront you." And so she joined with the young women of Boaz, and from then on reaped with them until the barley and the wheat were stored in the barns. Amazing. She got a job. Ruth 3. But afterwards, when she returned to her mother-in-law, Naomi said to her, "My daughter, I will seek rest for you, and I will provide so that it may be well with you. This Boaz, whose young woman you joined in the field, is our near relative, and this night he will winnow the threshing floor of barley." What the fuck is winnow? Winnow?
What a fucking sentence.
Window. Okay.
Yes, same to be fair.
I don't care how to pronounce it. I'm not gonna look that up. Okay. Therefore, wash and anoint yourself and put on your decorative garments and go down
Oily.
to the threshing floor. But do not let the man see you while he finishes eating and drinking. You're so welcome for that one. But when he goes to sleep, observe the place where he sleeps. And you will approach and lift up the covering, the part which covers near his feet, and lay yourself down and sleep there. Like what? Like come up to his bed like a dog and sleep where his feet are? But he will tell you what you are obliged to do. She answered, I will do everything as you have instructed. Ah, yes, so... no, you know what? Everybody knows what's going on here. And she went down to the threshing floor, and she did everything that her mother-in-law had commanded her. And when Boaz had finished eating and drinking, and he was merry, and he had gone to sleep by the pile of sheaves, she approached secretly, and, lifting the covering near his feet, she laid herself down. And... behold... when it was the middle of the night, the man became uwu. Oops. I just decided to stop the sentence there. You're so welcome.
Oh, I love the unintentional fucking results from copy and replace. It's so wonderful.
And behold, when it was the middle of the night, the man became frightened and confused, and he saw a woman lying near his feet. And he said to her, "Who are you?" And she answered, "I am Ruth, your handmaid." Spread your covering over your servant, for you are a near relative. I'm sure that's not the only thing getting spread this night.
Send pigs.
Pigs? Can it be any other cattle? Does it have to be pigs in bed? He said, "You are blessed by the Lord, daughter, and you have excelled beyond your earlier benevolence, because you have not followed young men, whether poor or rich. Therefore, do not be afraid, but whatever you decide about me, I will accomplish for you. For all the people who dwell within the gates of my city know that you are a virtuous woman. Neither do I deny myself to be a near relative, but there is another nearer than I. Be at peace for this night, and when morning arrives, if he is willing to uphold the law of kinship for you, things will turn out well. But if he is not willing, then I will take you, without any doubt, as the Lord lives." Ooh, question mark?
Yes,
Sleep
same.
until morning. And so she slept by his feet until the night was ending. Wait, that was surprisingly unkinky. And she arose, before men could inquire of one another. And Boaz said, "Be careful, lest someone know that you came, here." And again he said, "Spread your mantle that covers you."
A lot of spreading in this book.
And again he said, "Spread your mantle that covers you, and hold it with both hands."
Oh.
And she extended it and held it. He measured 6 measures of barley and placed it upon her. What the fuck is this kink? Yes, please open your mantle and let me stuff it with barley. Oh, that's hot. I know some
Yes, stop it.
maybe he's into really, 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 really hairy women, and she's not hairy, so he's like, barley will do the stuff. You look hairy now. Oh, that's hot. And he placed it. He measured 6 measures of barley and placed it upon her. Carrying it, she went into the city, and she came. Ooh.
Okay, so I presume what they mean is that she did this, and then they dumped things in their thing.
She has a mental, and then she gets a bunch of free barley, basically. I think.
I enjoy barley.
And she came, to her mother-in-law, who said to her, "What have you been doing, daughter?" And she explained to her all that the man had accomplished for her. And she said, "Behold,
Yeah, all right.
he gave me 6 measures of
Brilliant
barley,
idea.
for he said, I am not willing to have you return empty to your mother-in-law." And Naomi said, "Wait, daughter, until we see how things will turn out. For the man will not rest until he has accomplished what he had said."
Behold these nuts.
I enjoy these nuts.
What you do?
Rough 5. No, 5 what? Rough 4. Yeah, I'm having a rough time. Rough 4. And then Boaz went up to the gate, and he sat there. And when he had seen the kinsman passing by, whom he had previously discussed, he spoke to him, calling him by his name. "Pause for a little, and sit down here." He turned aside and sat down. Boaz, calling aside 10 men among us, the elders of the city, said to them, "Sit down here." They settled down, and he spoke to the kinsman. "Naomi, who has returned from the region of the Moabites, is selling part of a field of our brother Elimelech. I want you to hear this and to tell you in front of everyone sitting here, including the elders of my people. If you will take possession of it by the right of kinship, buy it and possess it." Wait, what? If you will take possession of it by the right of kinship, buy it and possess it. But if it displeases you, you should reveal this to me, so that I will know what I have to do. For there is no near kinsman besides you, who is before me, and I am after you. So basically, he's talking to one person and saying, you need to buy the field that Naomi's daughter-in-law is reaping in, and you have to buy it because you're a closer relative to her? I think
so.
I'm not quite sure.
Sounds about right.
But he answered, "I will buy the field." Sold. And Boaz said to him, "When buying the field, you are likewise obliged to accept the hand of the woman Ruth, the Moabite, who was the wife of the deceased, so that you may raise up the name of your near kinsman through his posterity." He answered, "I yield my right of kinship, for I am obliged not to cut off posterity of my own family. You may make use of my privilege, which I freely declare I will forego." This is too much legal speak. What is happening? Somebody. So is he accepted? I yield my right. Okay, yeah, that means. So he's buying the field, and he's also allowing Ruth. No, wait, you accept that. Oh, so he's marrying Ruth because family.
Seems legit.
I don't know this. I'm not smart enough for this. Yet it was the custom between kinsmen in this former time in Israel that
you're just too smart.
if at any time one yielded his right to another so as to confirm his permission, the man took off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. Thanks, Bible. What do you mean, what?
That's the one confused neighbor. He's like, "Here you go." It's like, "What's this?" "Take it."
Between kinsmen, so basically between among family. If you fulfill your if you like do your duty, your right to, I guess, marry a certain person, to confirm that you have to give away a shoe.
Wow.
Maybe this is like you give this to your closest relative, and it's like shoe. And he's like, "Shoe? Yeah, shoe. Fuck off." This was a testimony of concession in Israel. And so Boaz said to his kinsman, "Take off your shoe." And immediately he released it from his foot. And he said to the eldest and to all the people, "You are witness this day that I have taken possession of all that belonged to Elimelech and Chilion and Mahlon, and was bequeathed to Naomi. And Ruth, the Moabite, the wife of Mahlon, I have taken in marriage so as to raise up the name of the deceased in posterity, so that his name will not be cut off from amongst us, his family, and his brethren, and his people. You, I say, are witness of this thing." All the people who were at the gate, along with the elders, answered, "We are witnesses." May the Lord make this woman who enters into your house like Rachel and Leah, who built up the house of Israel, so that she may be an example of virtue in Ephrathah, and so that her name may be honored in Bethlehem. And may your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, of the offspring which the Lord will give to you from this young woman. And so Boaz took Ruth and received her as a wife. And he went in to her, and the Lord granted her to conceive and bear a son. And the woman said to Naomi, Blessed be the Lord who has not permitted your family to be without a successor, and may his name be called upon in Israel. And now you may have someone to comfort your soul and to take care for you in old age, for he is born of your daughter-in-law who loves you, and this is much better for you than if you had 7 sons. And taking up the boy, Naomi placed him on her bosom, and she took on the duties of carrying him and nursing him. And the woman of the near future... What? The fuck is a woman of the near future?
Your sister.
What? Explain.
Time travel?
Yes, same.
And the women of the near future were congratulating her and saying there was a son born to Naomi. They called his name Obed. Yeah, I bet you they did. Here's the daddy of Jesse, the daddy of David. These are the generations of Perez. Perez conceived Hezron, Hezron conceived Aram, Aram conceived Amminadab, Amminadab conceived Nahshon, Nahshon conceived Salmon, Salmon conceived Boaz, Boaz conceived Obed conceived Jesse, Jesse conceived David.
Salmon?
Yes, literal salmon.
Oh, fucking fish. I'm the fish man.
Well, Terrace, it is time to go to our Bible management sheet.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
That was the... You know what? You are in an unfathomably incredible luck, Uncultivated, because that was an entire book. Would you like to share your thoughts on the enjoyability of this book?
Holy shit, that was very short then.
Yes, that was the entire book of Ruth.
Fuck.
Literally.
What was the point of that? That didn't fucking put insight into anything at all.
I like how every previous book had like 20 to more like 30 chapters, and the book of Ruth has like 4.
4. Yes, that's precisely 4.
So you go ahead. You're the guest. How enjoyable was this?
I got not as good as the latter end of that last chapter, but it was pretty good. I like to read about her constantly fucking getting barley. She did all day after everyone fucking died.
I'm understandable. I'm thinking along the lines of 7. It's probably along that. Yeah. I like how they kept it short and succinct. Like there was quite a lot of stuff in it. Sure, they could have made it shorter, but overall, I'm feeling a 7 because it was very short and succinct. Characters. Okay, this time they really kept it to a minimum. I really like that.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
And the reasoning was, I mean, it's a little weird. Why did she go? How did they know where the relatives were? But I guess they just knew, and it makes a lot of sense. The characters, it all fell together. I'm feeling like this might actually be the best character so far. Like 9, maybe even 10. Honestly, what are your thoughts?
I'll stick to an 8.
I also appreciate the characters at the beginning who immediately fucking died. Those ones are my favorite.
Yeah, that's why I'm not entirely sure on the 10, but I think overall this was by far the best character, so I'm going to give it a 10, but I might pull it down to a 9 later. Writing.
I mean, it was...
alright.
I mean, it was quite cohesive, to be fair.
Yeah,
like we knew what was going on.
You know what? That is a very good point. It was very clear. So I'm leaning 8, 9? Something like that. Was it better than Exodus? It was very short and succinct. Yeah, plot. I mean, the plot was basically there was a woman. She had 2 daughters-in-law because her sons died, and then one daughter left, and then the other one went to her close relative, went to the field. Yeah, it worked.
I mean, yeah, it was. Once again,
amazing. I don't think I'm going to give it a 10, but it very well worked, and Yeah, there was no unnecessary fat added, so
Yeah.
it was
Easy
very
to follow
good.
also.
Comedy.
I mean, the whole neighbor shoe thing was pretty good.
I'm feeling like it's close to rough, but close to judges, but
I think like I got a 9 as well. Yeah.
yeah, I'm leaning towards a 9, and
Yeah.
it was
I really liked the deaths. The deaths were fucking killed.
Yeah,
me.
that-
Oh, they
just-
were. Yeah.
the fact that
yeah.
it was so short just makes the death even funnier.
The fact that we had one and then we're like, okay, this is a new drinking game, and then we just get 2 more.
Yeah, it's just like it's a 4-chapter book,
Really?
and they just introduce characters in the very beginning, and oh, they're dead. That is some good comedy. Kinky. I mean, there was some. It's not a
Oh.
rough.
Well,
I
I think it wasn't kinky, but I think there was the way it was written. There was a lot of innuendos.
mean, the fucking stuffing with barley, the sleeping at the feet, everything. There was a lot of.
I think
things
like
you would
another
think,
7 or an 8.
Oh, this is going to get kinky, and then it isn't. So
Yeah, I think like another 7 or an 8.
yeah, I was thinking exactly the same actually, 7 or 8. Like the implied kinkiness is also just. You know what? I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and also go with an 8 because of the implied kinkiness.
Yeah.
Holy shit! We literally have a new best book.
That was a fucking good one.
It's literally better than Judges, which was already the best book by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Damn.
See, that's what happens when you're quick and concise.
Well, now we only have to ask one question to our guest.
I don't like salmon.
Yeah.
Was that the question?
Yes.
Yes. I say yes.
No, the question is, would you like more?
I could do more. That was a very short book.
I mean, the book was short. This is an average reading session, but it's up to you, basically. Terrace wants to stop. I can redeem another several hours of Bible reading. So if you want to continue, we can continue. Or we can stop. It is literally up to you.
Let's just stop here. It makes sense to stop at the end of a book, actually.
My man.
Understandable. Would you like to say anything before we leave?
That. I say the same thing.
Oh, my man.
Awesome.